Casual, where casuals like me give casual takes, everything football and basketball. Today we have our second mock draft of the 2024 NFL draft season, and today we have the pre-offseason / combine mock draft. So let's get started. At pick 1, I have the Bears taking Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC. I don't see them keeping Fields. Now, what should I do? If I were them, what would I do? I'm not really quite sure, but this is a prediction. So I'm going to predict Caleb Williams goes to Chicago. But I most likely will be doing a mock draft again where there will be trades, and maybe you will see that pick get moved. At number 2, we keep the quarterbacks going. Drake May is going to head over to the Commanders at 2. Sam Howell had a decent start to the season, but then he kind of plateaued and then declined a bit. So I think they move on. They get Drake May, who has a lot of upside. So we'll see what happens with him. And then continuing the quarterback trend, we have the Patriots taking Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. Mac Jones, I don't think he's it. In going to the draft, he had one of the higher floors, but one of the lower ceilings. You saw him hit that floor very quickly, or hit that ceiling, I guess, very quickly, because he had a great rookie year, but then hasn't really improved much since then, which was kind of expected. So now I think they get a guy with a bit higher potential, Heisman quarterback Jaden Daniels. Then at 4, Cardinals need receiver help. We're going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State, best receiver. Consensus number 1 receiver, not much to be said here. Now with the Chargers at 5. Now they could use a receiver. There is Malik Neighbors. There is Romeo Dunze available. They could go receiver here. But I think you go Brock Bowers. Get Herbert his first elite tight end. Well, he may not be elite right away, but he obviously has the potential to be so. So get Herbert that weapon. Sign some good free agents at receiver, running back potentially. Maybe Saquon Barkley. Maybe Derrick Henry. Who knows? But you get him a great tight end because the tight end free agent class isn't the best. Brock Bowers is the clear number 1 tight end. Not even close. So you go Brock Bowers. Then at 6, Daniel Jones or whoever they roll at quarterback, whether they draft one later on. We'll see what happens with that in this mock draft. But I think whoever the quarterback is, you need to give him some weapons. So I think you go Malik Neighbors, receiver out of LSU. Then we get to number 7, the Titans. They need O-line help. They got Peter Skoronski, I believe, at tackle, but they need some more tackle help, more lineman help. To whoever they throw out there, Will Levis or whoever. So I got Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Then the Falcons at 8. Now, who knows who their quarterback's going to be? Fields, Wilson, a rookie. Obviously got Drake London, Pitts, Bijan. And their defense is not that bad, but they could use some edge help. So I got Dallas Turner out of Alabama heading to Atlanta. Now we're back with the Bears here at pick 9. Whether it's Caleb, whether it's Fields, whoever, they need some help alongside DJ Moore. You missed out on Marvin Harrison. Why not grab Romeo Dunze out of Washington? He's no Marvin Harrison, but that's not a bad consolation at receiver. Then, to round out the top 10, Jets need depth at line. They need just overall lineman help. So we're going to have them taking Penn State's tackle, Olumunoi Fashanu. Definitely mispronounced that, but it's fine. He is heading to the Jets to help protect Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Vikings was an interesting one. They could use an edge. They could use a corner. I think they're going to bring back Kirk Cousins. But I think the best option here is to bring back Kirk Cousins, draft one of these other quarterbacks that aren't the top 3 guys, let them sit behind Kirk Cousins and develop. And I think they go J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan to be that developmental quarterback. Now we get Denver at 12. I think they go corner. I think they go the best corner available, best corner in the draft in Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. The Raiders also need corner. We're not going to talk too much into what happened with Mr. Arnett, but the Raiders need corner badly. So get the next best corner, Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Now, the Saints need... I don't really know. I think they go quarterback, but maybe later on. They could go quarterback here. Could get Penix or Nix. Could go with a receiver. Michael Thomas is getting old. But I think they go tackle, pair alongside Ryan Ramczyk. Thais Fuaga out of Oregon State goes to New Orleans. Now we get the Colts at pick 15. They need some defense. They need D-line presence, whether it's an edge rusher, interior D-line. So why not get the best interior D-line in the draft, Byron Murphy II out of Texas, to the Colts. Now, Seattle, I think, as you can see by the board, the two best players available are edge. I think they go edge. Jared Verse, I think, is a perfect pick here to Seattle at 16 out of Florida State. Now we have the Jags at 17. The two corners went back-to-back early, not too many picks ago. Why not keep it going? Nate Wiggins, Clemson corner, headed to Jacksonville. I like Nate Wiggins a lot. This is a pretty decent cornerback class in that like 12 to 20 range. But there's some pretty good corners soon to be picked, potentially. Who knows? Bengals. Now we all know what happened when they took Jamar Chase, where they're going to take Penei Sewell. They need to give Burrow help. They haven't really gotten that yet. This is one of the highest picks they've had since getting Joe Burrow. It might be the highest pick they've had. This is their opportunity to get that lineman, and they're going to take Alabama tackle J.C. Latham, I think is how you pronounce it. Speaking of corners, Rams need those. Why not take a corner / safety out of Iowa? Maybe buys pick here. We're going to go Cooper DeJean to the Rams at 19. Now we get to 20, Seattle. Could go quarterback. People probably want them to go quarterback. But I think they have other priorities, which is the O-line, especially because they have some free agents at O-line that could leave. So I think you get some interior O-line help, the best interior O-lineman in the draft. We talk about all these tackles, Alt, Fuaga, Fashanu, but the best interior lineman by a landslide is Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. I have him going 20 to Pittsburgh. Speaking of O-line, Miami could use those. Why not give him Georgia tackle Amarius Mims at pick 21? I mentioned the corners. There is one more to finish off this little group. Maybe the greatest name in college football. It's Kool-Aid McKinstry. Eagles corners are getting old. Slay. Can't really tell if he's still got it. Bradbury does not have it. Sad to say. Really like James Bradbury, but he does just not have it. So get some youth in that cornerback room with Kool-Aid McKinstry. Texans at 23. They obviously don't need a quarterback. I don't think they need a receiver. I think they're going to spend money on a running back. They could go O-line here. I think they go defense. This might be one of the best picks of the draft. A good steal for Houston in Latu. I could see being the best edge rusher in this class, and it's not just because of his name. I have him going to Houston. They can add some edge pressure alongside Will Anderson. Now Dallas. Dallas was a tough one because their needs are tough. Because, what do they do at, every position? Because running back, who knows what they do with Pollard. Dak's obviously your quarterback. You got corners covered. Their D-line is a bit questionable. You got DeMarcus Lawrence, of course, but I think their D-line's a bit questionable. So get Illinois' D-lineman Jerzon Newton at pick 24. Now the Packers. Packers at 25. I think a lot of people want them to take corner, but I do know of some corners and safeties later down the board that they could take. So I'm not going to go there with this pick. We don't know what's going to happen with David Bakhtiari. He could leave. If he does, I very well see him going to the Jets, reuniting with Aaron Rodgers. But he very well could leave, and they need tackles. Even if they keep Bakhtiari, they probably need to get a tackle. So I'm going the next best tackle, which is Troy Fautanu out of Washington, to help Jordan Love and protect him so he can keep ascending and being another potential Hall of Fame Packers quarterback. That doesn't start right away. All right, now the Bucs at 26. I believe they just cut Shaq Barrett, or they will. So they need some edge rushing. So why not get Chop Robinson or Dominion, that I mispronounced that, Robinson. I'm going to go Chop Robinson out of Penn State, edge rusher, because I think Shaq Barrett's gone, if not already. So the Cardinals already took Marvin Harrison at 4, and now they're back at 27 via Houston. I think they need some line help. I'm taking Jordan Morgan, tackle out of Arizona. Him or Guyton, I'm going Morgan. But you could go either one. Guyton might fall a bit. We'll see. Now the Bills at 28. I think this has to be a receiver. They're going to lose Gabe Davis. Why not get the next best receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU? Now the Lions. They need defense. Their offense is almost perfect, to be honest, in terms of, they have everybody that they need. They have a tight end. They have 2 running backs. They have a receiver. They have their quarterback. Their O-line's really good. They have everything at offense. It's the defense that they need help on, especially in the secondary. They need corners so badly. And the best corner, in my opinion, available is Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. And let's hope they don't get a Jeff Okudah 2.0. Let's hope Lassiter can actually be elite on the Lions, because how could you not root for the Lions? Now 30, Baltimore. Again, I think this has to be a receiver. You have Zay Flowers, the speedster. You also kind of have Bateman, who's, not it's hard to describe Bateman's receiver style, but obviously you have Zay Flowers, the elite, deep threat. Why not get maybe the best jump ball receiver in the draft, Keon Coleman out of Florida State? When you talk about a big body receiver, that's Keon Coleman. So I think that's who the Ravens go at 30. Niners coming off a Super Bowl loss. They need tackle help, or just O-line help in general. So I'm going to go tackle / interior lineman. Very versatile. We're going to go Dukes Graham Barton here at 31. Now the Chiefs at 32. I think they need either lineman or receiver. And I think when you look at Troy Franklin, one of the fastest receivers available, maybe the fastest receiver in the whole draft, I think the Chiefs, they had Tyreek Hill, obviously. He left. They had the whole Legion of Zoom, and that's kind of gone. But you saw McCole Hardman come back. You saw him catch a 50-something yard pass from Mahomes. I think they realized that if you can get Mahomes an elite speedster at receiver, it changes everything. So I think they go Troy Franklin at 32. Even if he's not the best route runner, I think they just want that pure speed. Now, the Panthers at 33, they need receivers. We said the Bills need a receiver. We said the Ravens, Chiefs need a receiver. The Panthers need a receiver desperately. I think the next best receiver is Xavier Worthy, so I have him going to the Panthers at 33. Now the Patriots at 34. They got their guy, Jaden Daniels. Why not give him some protection? Some line help. Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. I think if the Patriots can get Jaden Daniels and Tyler Guyton, they're going away these first 2 rounds pretty darn happy. So I think that's where they go. Now the Cardinals have Marvin Harrison, Jordan Morgan already. They could use some defense. They went offense first 2 picks. They've used some defense, some linebacker help. The best linebacker and honestly one of only 3 linebackers potentially even worth taking in the top 2 rounds. We're going to go Peyton Wilson out of NC State at 35. Maybe a controversial pick, I'm not sure. Now the Commanders, they got Drake May. Why not go up defense? Edge pressure. You traded away Sweat. You traded away Chase Young. Let's go with Darius Robinson, edge out of Missouri at 36. Restart that edge youth movement there in Washington with Robinson. Now Chargers at 37. They took Brock Bowers. They want offense. They need defense. They need secondary help. They tried bringing in J.C. Jackson. That didn't work. That failed miserably. They obviously have Asante Samuel, Derwin James. Let's go with the somewhat versatile DB out of Iowa State, T.J. Tampa, at pick 37. Now pick 38, the Titans. They took Joe Alt. They could use some receiver help. They have Treylon Burks. They have D-Hop. They need, whoever the quarterback is, I think it will be Will Levis. I think it should be Will Levis. They need a separator. Maybe the best route runner in this second group of receivers. So basically just not Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, or Dunze. It's Ladd McConkey, Georgia's own, going to Tennessee. Pairing up with D-Hop and Treylon Burks. Giants are now up at 39. They already took their receiver. You need someone to throw in the ball. You have Daniel Jones, but I don't know if I trust Daniel Jones. We're going Bo Nix at 39 to the Giants. Commanders are back up again. They just took Darius Robinson. You have Drake May. You don't really need to worry about receivers for him to throw to because you got Terry McLaurin, which hopefully they actually throw him the ball for once. You have Brian Robinson. Who knows if they're going to add another receiver? I think they might. I think they might throw big money at a receiver because they have all the money in the world. But they don't have a tight end. They have Logan Thomas. He's not very good. He's kind of just a solid tight end, nothing crazy. There's only one tight end left worth taking, and that's Jatavian Sanders out of Texas at 40 overall. Packers are back up. They took a tackle at 25. I mentioned DB help for the Packers. Let's go with the best safety available, Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota at 41. Vikings at 42 could use some defense. We're going to go with edge rusher Chris Braswell out of Alabama to pair alongside their pick of McCarthy in the first round. Speaking of edge, we had the Falcons taking Dallas Turner. We mentioned how they have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, but they don't really have anyone outside of Drake London at receiver. Why not take A.D. Adonai Mitchell out of Texas? 2 Texas receivers going to the NFC South. That should be interesting. Now the Raiders, they need O-line. We're going to have them take the next best center available, Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Now the Saints, they took a tackle. The Saints are interesting because they're very heavy cap hit team, yet it never seems to affect them. They always work around the cap. But part of their cap issues currently is Derek Carr. Now, I thought Derek Carr would be better than he was, but he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great either. He's kind of just a bridge quarterback who's making a lot of money. You need someone for the future. So I think they go Washington's Michael Penix at 45. Colts are back up. They took Byron Murphy. Maybe not the most exciting pick, maybe not the best pick, but I like it. We're going to shore up that defense even more. We're going to go Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri. They need some extra corner help outside of Kenny Moore. They don't really have much, so we'll give them Rakestraw out of Missouri. Giants are back up. They took Bo Nix. They took Malik Neighbors. It's time to go defense. Let's give them linebacker / edge rusher Edgerrin Cooper out of Texas A&M. Speaking of edge rushers / linebackers, Jags could use an edge rusher. Could use defense to go alongside Nate Wiggins. Adisa Isaac out of Penn State is headed over to Jacksonville. The Bengals at 49. They have obviously Chase. They have, I believe they will have T. Higgins, but they're going to lose Tyler Boyd. Now, I don't know if the Bengals are prioritizing receiver, but I say why not? They already took their tackle. They shored up that O-line. Let's go with Roman Wilson, Michigan receiver. Maybe a reach, maybe. But I'm going with Roman Wilson. Now, the Eagles have pick 50, but they also do have pick 53 as well. So they took Kool-Aid McKinstry because their corners are getting old, but so are their edge rushers. So let's go with Jonah Ellis out of Utah to the Eagles. Now, the Steelers at pick 51. We're gonna have them go corner as well. We're gonna have them take Mike Sainristil out of Michigan. Now the Rams at pick 52. They already took Cooper DeJean. They got their corner, but they don't have a tackle. They need it. Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. Again, any of these names, if I'm mispronouncing, let me know, because I want to get better at pronouncing these names. Speaking of O-line, Dolphins could use it. They could use some interior O-line help. Let's go Christian Haynes out of UConn for Miami. That's supposed to be Miami. Apologies. Cleveland is up next. They're going to take receiver. They're going to go with Jalen Polk out of Washington. Now, this is supposed to be the Eagles' pick. So Miami took Christian Haynes to go alongside of Mary's Mims. So we're going to have the Eagles. I did it on another mock draft website, and it had the picks flipped for some reason. So we're going to have the Eagles in this draft take Devontae Walker. All right, we're back to normal. So now we have the Cowboys at pick 56. Tyron Smith's a free agent, and he's also just getting old in general. I could see him leaving potentially. So I'm going to have the Cowboys go with Kieran Omega Deji out of Yale at tackle. Bucks at pick 57. We're going to have them, as we know, they got rid of Shaq Barrett. Who knows what they're going to do with Devin White? Add another linebacker. Let's go Junior Colson out of Michigan. Now the Packers at pick 58. Could use some corner help. So we're going to have them take Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. Texans are up next here at 59. Now, I mentioned they may not need receiver. They have Nico. They have Tank Dell. Why not add some extra youth at that position? Let's go Brendan Rice, receiver out of USC. Bills, they took their receiver. In the first round, they could shore up that edge. We'll have them take Braylon Trice out of Washington. Lions, again, we mentioned they need defense. They don't really need offense, so we'll have them take Chris Jenkins, D lineman out of Michigan. Speaking of D-line, Ravens are going to take Austin Booker, edge rusher out of Kansas. Niners, they got their lineman. We're going to have them go corner here. a little bit of a Senior Bowl standout, maybe a reach, going Cam Hart at pick 63. Last pick of the mock draft of the second round. The Chiefs, they got their receiver. They always need O-line help, especially potentially with Donovan Smith leaving. So I have them taking Patrick Paul out of Houston. And that is it for the 2024 pre-free agency / combine mock draft. Let me know your thoughts. If you like what I did for your team. Now remember, these are casual takes. But let me know if you like what I did for your specific team in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell because you don't want to miss any more of these amazing videos, predictions, rankings, mock drafts, you name it. They're all here. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.